Hello everyone, welcome to Babysitters. In this week's video, we'll talk about chapter 10 and 11. Here's our member, Jolie, Naiva, Ngọc, Toàn, and myself. Here's the content for this week's video. I will cover the first part of chapter 10, what is the price? So price is the amount of money charged for products or service. Price is the only element in the marketing mix that brings revenue for the company. All other aspects are considered as cost. Price is the sum of all the values that customers give up to gain the benefit of having or using a product or service. Like, I want to buy a set of Lego. The benefit of it is to bring me fun and relaxed moment. I pay the price for that test. If I want to get a haircut, the benefit of it is to have a new hairstyle. I pay for the price. I pay the price for it. There's the difference between price and cost. Price is what we must pay to receive the product or service. In cost, it's going to be the amount of money that companies spend to produce the products or make the service. Setting the right price is one of the most complex tasks. Good pricing starts with customer and their perception of the value of the product. If we think about coffee at Highlands, we're gonna set a price. I will take an example at 50,000 dong. I might set that for us. And if we think about another brand like Starbucks, we're gonna have another setup price for it. I'll take like 99,000 dollars. And to set that price, we need a strategy. And my friend Toàn will tell more about that in the next part.
So let's talk about major pricing strategies. We have two main major pricing strategies: cost-based pricing and value-based pricing. So these two is very complex and very diverse in terms of step of defining that the price, as you can see, why the cost-based pricing, and they have the product first, and then they determine the price based on the cost of making the products, and then they convince the buyers to happen. So meanwhile, the value-based pricing, they're gonna create the product and determine the cost based on the customer needs and perceptions. Let's talk about the customer value pricing first. It's based on buyers' perception of value, and we have good value pricing, which is the right combination of quality and good service at a fair price. In many cases, this had involved introducing less expensive versions or established brand name products on new lower price lines. For example, Walmart launched an extreme value store brand called price even lower than the retailer's already low prices created value brand. Price first operative consequent customer drop bottom prices on grocery established. And then we have value-added pricing. It's attaching value-added features and services. For example, Philips had relied on its first investment in research and innovation based on meticulous customer insights to offer greater value. Philips' lighting division, for instance, was on creating energy-efficient solutions for home and office users. Next, we're going to talk about the cost-based pricing. It's based on the cost of producing or distributing the products. The total cost will involving, fixed cost and variable cost. Let's talk about cost plus pricing. So basically, they just adding a standard makeup to the cost of product. However, is that very unreasonable, but there are three reasons for them to do it. They just focus on the cost first of all. Secondly, is everyone using this method, the price competitions will be, minimized since everyone doing the same. And thirdly, they say it will be fair for the buyer and the seller all right. Let's talk about the break-even pricing. This particular task, they target on returning pricing. So we are looking at a formula. You can see that they're setting the price in order to, it's based on the cost of the product. And now they set a price to make target return. Then we have competition pricing. It is setting your price similarly to your competitors in the market. So that's everything about cost-based pricing. And my teammates gonna talk about internal and external that affecting the cost.
Now, we will discuss other internal and external factors affecting price decisions. So first, about the internal factors about marketing strategy and marketing mix. A marketing strategy has to be defined. Why? Because price is just one piece of the overall marketing strategy. And so for the price to be decided on in a definite way, companies must have a fixed target market and positioning. That way, strategy can be built around price and value story. We must know also that price is just one element in the 4Ps. Price is a crucial product positioning factor that defines the product's market, competition, and even design. In other words, pricing strategy can be determined by decisions on market positioning, which is why companies carry out target costing, which is the process of pricing that starts with an ideal selling price to which target cost will ensure that the price is met. To illustrate internal factors, I will use the example of Pharmacity. Pharmacity's marketing strategy is highly based on price. They have a same for less positioning strategy, meaning that they offer cheap and convenient healthcare products at the equivalent quality of their competitors. Furthermore, they have a pricing strategy that is supported by frequent discounts and vouchers. Now, we will move on to external factors. So first with the types of markets, in pure competition, the market consists of many buyers and sellers trading identical products. In these markets, where little differences between products exist, marketing is almost useless. Sellers and buyers are both price takers, meaning that they apply the price determined by the market. This also implies that sellers don't need to differentiate their products, and therefore, they don't need a pricing strategy. In monopolistic competition, the market consists of many buyers and sellers trading products that are similar but not identical. In a monopolistic competition, sellers will seek to differentiate themselves from their competitors, and therefore, this requires a lot of marketing activities and pricing strategies to attract customers and surpass competitors. In oligopolistic competition, the market consists of a few large sellers. Competition is heightened in such markets, to the point where each seller is alert and responsive to pricing strategies and marketing moves. Then finally, we have pure monopoly, where the market is dominated by one seller. The pricing strategy in pure monopolies are decided by that one seller because there's virtually no competition. Next, we will look at how demand affects price decisions. To understand this, we must understand the demand curve and price elasticity. The demand curve shows the number of units bought in a given time period for a range of prices. Economists have concluded that the higher the price, the lower the demand. Therefore, companies have to set their prices at a point where customers are willing to pay and where the company can make profit. The response of the demand based on price is reflected in price elasticity, which is a measure of response of demand to price changes. To be specific, demand hardly changes with a small change in price, then the demand is inelastic. Conversely, if demand changes a lot, then the demand is elastic. Most companies with significant marketing activities have to deal with elastic demand, which is why they should consider lowering prices to increase total revenue. And this is the end for Chapter 10.
Now I'm going to talk about pricing strategy. A company bringing out a new product faces a challenge of setting price for the first time. So there are two board strategy. The market skimming pricing. So setting higher price for new products to skim maximum revenue. This makes sense under two conditions. First, the product quality and image must support its higher price, and enough buyer must want the products at that price. And second, the cost of products' smaller volume cannot be so high that they cancel the advantage of charging more. And finally, competitors should not be able to enter the market easily and undercut the high price. So let's take example for Samsung in 2020. Flagship phones, the Galaxy S20, on the release day, the price of the smartphone was $999. However, after the release of its new flagship smartphone this year, Galaxy S21, the price of last year's phone significantly dropped, and it now can be found for the price of around $600, depending on the store you are buying it from. So the price of Samsung's smartphone is changing over time, and it's noticeable that the price goes down faster than at the beginning, then the drop starts to slow down. And through smart premium pricing, Samsung actually vacuumed as much as 75% of all smartphone profit. Secondly is market penetration pricing, so setting low price for new products to attract a large number of customers and win large market share. So several conditions must be met for this low price strategy to work. So first is market must be highly price sensitive so that the low price products more market growth. Second, productions and distribution costs must decrease as sales volume increase. And finally, the low price must keep out the competitions and the penetrations price must maintain its low price positions. Otherwise, the price advantages may only be temporary. So for example, a local bank called Community Inc. compete with multiple national bank branches operating in the same area, and after the discussions, its leader make plans to reduce all required fee for a new client to maintain an active bank account for the first 6 months. And as a result, more people who plan to open a new account call the local bank as they are intrigued by the reduced fee offer. Next, we're going to talk about 5 product mix situations. So, product line pricing is setting the price gap between various products in the product line based on cost differences between the products, customer evaluations of different features, and competitor price. A common example of product line pricing should be company that makes smartphone. So taking Apple that make iPhone for example, the main product slide is smartphone, but each iPhone such as iPhone 7, 8 to X, each is priced differently, showing that they offer different features within a certain product line. The next one is optional product pricing. Is the pricing of optional or accessory products along with the main product. So take for example, mobile game and in-app purchase. So continuing with the video game train, many game developers have discovered if they make the game free and then charge for additional items to be used in the game, they can make just as much money or even more than if they can just sold the game outright. So this is especially common in mobile game and where the more casual gamer are less likely to spend money and subsidized by those who spend it a lot. The next one is captive product pricing. So captive products can account for substantial portions of a brand sale and profit. So for example, our captive product pricing are Gillette razor blade because the cost price of razor, which is the core product, is very less, but then it comes to the razor blade, which are changed frequently by the user, are high, and that's the reason why company make razor charge very less for razor, as they can cover the loss arising out of the sale of razor by selling razor blade at high price. However, high captive product costs can make consumer avoid buying the products in the first place. So for a personal experience, I was actually almost did not buy a Gillette razor because the price of the blades is really high for how short it can last. The next one is byproduct pricing. So setting a price for byproducts to help offset the cost of disposing them and help make the main product's price more competitive. So byproduct pricing can simply be explained with an example of crude oil. Companies like British Petroleum deal with a lot of crude oil, and the company also provides finished goods like oil and petrol. So the pricing of the raw material as well as byproduct is kept different. Generally, it is kept on the basis of cost of productions of the byproducts. The last one is products bundle pricing. So by combining several products and offer the bundle as a reduced price. So for example, KFC, they usually sell meal combo for a few dollars less than buying everything separately. So this makes the customer buy more food than they actually need, but they are satisfied with the discount.
Hello teachers, so my teammates showed you all the internal and external factors affecting brand decisions. Nowadays, I'm allowed to talk about brand adjustment strategies. So as you all know, companies usually adjust their basis price to account for various customer differences and changing situations. So nowadays we are having the 7 brand adjustment strategies. Firstly, I want to mention that discount and allowance pricing. Discount and allowance pricing is reducing price to reward customer responses such as volume purchase, being early or promoting products. So an example discount that when a store holds a 10% of sale, an example of an allowance would be to offer a 2% discount on a bill based in 10 days, but no discount for buy in 30 days. So moving on to the segmented price. Segmented price is adjusting price to allow for differences in customer, product, location, and term. An example for that, airlines are the leading industries when it comes to installer price segmentation. Rarely do two passengers ever pay the same price. So, besides, it's also based on the class of seats in the airline, such as economy and business tickets. So, the continuing psychological pricing. Psychological pricing is adjusting price for psychological effects. The aspects of psychological effect references to price. So, an example of a psychological pricing is an item that is priced at $3.99 but convinced by the customers at the $3 and not $4. Treating $3.99 is a lower price than $4. So that's on of the psychological pricing. So the next one I want to introduce to you is the promotional pricing. Temporarily reducing price to support certain sales such as flash sale, buy one get one, and seasonal sales. Here is an example of Babysitters. The price of the interior ones in buy one get one free is typically higher than the other. So when you sell using this kind of promotional pricing strategy, you are selling two products. Ones that are personally cheaper but still not really half price. So the next one I had to factor want to introduce to you are geographical pricing and international pricing. With the geographical pricing, adjusting price to account for geographic locations of customers, FOB, zone pricing, by point pricing are the common example for geographical pricing. So continuing international pricing, adjusting price for international markets. So as you all know, the Apple used a premium pricing strategy to introduce sophisticated, feature-rich premium smartphone carefully segmented by mature markets in developed countries to affluent consumer in emerging markets. By contrast, it's now under pressure to discount older model and develop cheaper, where even discounted older Apple phone sale as price 3 to 5 times those of competing low price models. And the last one is the dynamics and online pricing, adjusting price continually to meet the characteristics and needs of individual customers and situations. More common examples are happy hour at your local park, airline pricing on the travel website. I have example detail for the airline pricing. Regular can organize their flights 5 months in advance, but business people often need reserve flights at the last minute. Therefore, ticket price change in the matter of minutes with time-based pricing strategy. So that's on of the price adjustment strategies.
My teammates were presented about price and price-setting strategies. However, companies often will face situations in which they must change the price. There are two types of price changes. One would be price cuts, or decreasing the price. Number two would be price increases, or increasing the price. Whenever a company wants to change the price, it would consider two questions. The first one is, what would customers think? Sometimes people take price change as a positive action because they believe in the increasing quality or attributes of the products. But sometimes they might react badly. Take example of gasoline, a very hot item that has been plunging in the recent days. When gasoline price rise rapidly, consumers are very angry and accuse manufacturers that they want to enrich themselves. Another question a company needs to think about would be, what would competitors think? Since competitors are a factor that directly affecting the company, it must evaluate carefully every tactics of competitors and respond in a timely manner. One problem regarding price change is the way companies should react to competitors if they change the price. What should a company do? Well, most of the time companies choose to follow their rivals, while some other companies still maintain the current price. But what would be the ideal strategy for them? Well, we would want to introduce to you a guide to this situation. Looking at the graph, you can see that there are many ways to respond when our competitors take a price change. If a competitor cuts price, and that action makes the company's market share or profit lower, it may take actions such as reducing the price accordingly, raise the perceived value, improve quality, and increase price, or launch low-price fighter brand. But if a competitors cut price but doesn't negatively affect the company, it should not follow the strategy. There's no use in cutting the price in this situation. Price may also be affected by public policies. Although we are doing business in a free market, that doesn't assure us of having the right to set whatever price we want. There are certain laws or rules or regulations so that price can be set fairly. And these are some examples for prohibited strategies, which a company must not implement. The first one would be price fixing, or compromising with competitors and agree upon the price to maximize profit of these two organizations. This is really bad for the customers, and therefore, most governments doesn't allow this. Number 2 would be predatory pricing. Predatory pricing would be setting a very low price for a short period of time and wait for competitors to exit the market because of low price. After that, a company may raise the price higher than the original price, and in addition to a less competitive market, a company is much benefited. This demonstrates anti-competitive attitude and demonstrated monopolization, and therefore government also doesn't allow it. Number 3 would be price discrimination. Price discrimination means charging differently for different customers, which is really unfair and even illegal in some countries. The last one would be deceptive pricing. This is a common strategy, although it seems to be unethical in some way. A company might state a misleading price to lure customers into purchasing the products. Specifically, they set fake high price on the tags and then discount the fake high price. However, sometimes the discount price is even higher than the original price. So, to conclude, price can be lowered or increased. Marketers should consider customers' thoughts and competitors' reactions when they want to change the price. Price is partly controlled by the government, and marketers should pay attention to these local regulations when setting the price. And most importantly, set a fair price is really important to retain customers. And this also leads us to the end of our video about price and price strategies. Thank you for watching.